with that mighty K, bitch, that mighty Drake. Right now, 5 is up now. You bound to die. I just woke up, got bands today. What got rest today? Pulling up with that mighty K.
Yo, what's up, Dirty South fam, man? It's your boy 2ToneZach.
And it's your boy Headhunter Nick.
And we are back, man, with another Dirty South episode, man. It's been a minute. We missed y'all. Life just been lifing, man. First, I'm going to start off. Nick, how have you been, bro?
Pretty good so far. Nothing too crazy. Just woke up. Had to get the Dirty South mascot some food. She over there tearing up the food right now. But yeah, we have a cat, so yeah, that's, you know how they do. They act like they ain't ate in 5 years every 20 minutes or so. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much how my day's going. Just going, school, man. That's just
school for sure.
That's how I be.
Dirty South family, man. We believe in higher education around here, so it's part of the reason y'all don't see us as often, man.
Really, yeah, that's a real reason. And then some of y'all kind of know my situation. I made a video about it. It was up for a day. If you saw it, you saw it. If you didn't, oh fucking well. But yeah, that's also been a big reason why it's been so long. But yeah, man, it's been a crazy week so far, especially in the sports world and the college football world. But yeah, hey, what you got for us? By the way, Zach is hosting this episode. I'm letting him host this episode, see what he can do. But yeah, what you got for us?
Man, all right, man. So first, we got to start off with flag planting. Is it a problem? Is it not? What was your reaction to all the fights that we seen in Week 12, bro? I think it was 5 of them across rivalry week that stemmed from flag planting. Is it a problem in your eyes? And what was your reaction to the fights?
Okay, so with the flag planting sends me one message, and that's a whole lot of teams ain't doing shit during rivalry week at home. That's one thing. They ain't handling business at home. They ain't not defending the whole field. Because I've never seen a team play the flag on their own field. No, you got to beat a team on the road to do it.
Right, you got to be on the road to do it.
It's rivalry week, and you let teams come to your home field and just smack the shit out you. So, do I have a problem with the flag planting? Damn. No, I really don't. Because it's like, if you don't want it to happen, win the game.
Win the game at home.
And this shit with football. Football is a physical contact sport. Why save all that physicality for after the game when you had 60 minutes to use it during the game? I don't see a problem with flag planting. It's just, if you don't want it to happen, win the game. Don't try to fight afterwards because you got your ass whooped.
Yeah. No, that's my opinion on it too. Like you said, you only can get the flag planted on you if you lose at home. Don't lose at home, especially not to your damn rival. And you don't got to worry about a flag or, in Arizona State's case, a pitchfork getting planted into your field, man. It was amazing, though. I really do feel like we need that rawness back in sports. It's too commercialized now. Everybody's social media friends. Everybody love each other.
Yeah.
Everybody is bros. I want to see niggas fighting, taking each other's helmets off, choke slamming each other. I need shit like that back in sports, man. So I was actually kind of happy with that, man. So going from flag planting, right? Probably the biggest upset in this game, in the history of it, since we've been alive, right? Michigan goes into Ohio State and they do the unthinkable and they beat Ohio State, pull off the upset, man. We know where Michigan is going from here. They got a really bright future. They finished with a top 5 recruiting class, man. The question is, where does Ohio State go from here, man? To me, there's only one answer to that question, and that is if he does not win the national championship this year, Ohio State has to, and I want to emphasize, has to move on from Ryan Day, man. It's been 4 years of failure at this point. When he came in, he was hot. He was a good name. He was a good offensive coordinator. We averaged the most points we had ever averaged in one season under Ryan Day. Dwayne Haskins had what should have been his Heisman year that year. Ryan Day was our offensive coordinator, and unfortunately, the whole situation with Urban Meyer and his receiver coach at that time transpired, and he had to step down, and we had to go in a new direction. And unfortunately for us fans, our AD at the time didn't conduct a real head coaching search. Ryan Day is a guy who, prior to Ohio State, well, I'll just say this: he's had one of the quickest rises I think we've ever seen in sports. He goes from fired QB coach of the 49ers to Ohio State's offensive coordinator to Ohio State's head coach within 3 years. No one should ever rise that fast, right? Especially not at a job like Ohio State. That's just a fast rise, bro. Um, so yeah, at this point, he has 4 games to prove why he should be our head coach. I think our AD feels the same way. If you look at his comments, we'll probably put a little pop up of what our AD said in his press conference about Ryan Day, and that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. You go 4-0 or you lose your job. That's where I'm at with it.
You know, I don't even know if even winning a natty could winning a natty would save him, but it's like
It
this is
feels
the
like a
worst loss.
consolation prize at that point, right?
Yeah, this is the worst loss in Ohio State history. All right, and I mean bar none. I mean, yeah, you had the Georgia game where
Yep.
they had the missed field goal. I mean, there's been plenty of
Oh
bad
yeah,
Ohio State losses. You had
bad Ohio State
Purdue.
losses. Purdue,
You had Purdue
Iowa.
unexpectedly. Yeah, I like you had
Yeah.
teams unexpectedly blowing Ohio State out, and this is talking about recent memory. This is the worst loss in Ohio State history. You had a
Yep.
$20 million roster,
$20 million
couldn't get it
roster.
done. You're playing a team that's coming off of sanctions, but even though the sanctions, really weren't a punishment, you still had a new head coach, new OC, new defensive coordinator at Michigan. They're having a down year, and then Michigan was missing 2 of their best players coming into the game and lost another one during the game.
Yep.
The top 3 players on that team did not play the full game,
Yep.
and they still managed to beat this team for the 4th year in a row off of straight halfback dive. Like that was the game plan for Michigan, and it was smart because it's like, look, Ohio State did get tougher, they did get more physical than years past. But at the end of the day, football is football. No matter how physical you are, somebody runs at your face hard enough, and yeah, they were. Ohio State was stopping Khalil Mullins. The first half. First half, he was just straight shut down. At
Hell,
most,
even in the second half, the one good run he had was the one where he broke out and went
yeah.
around.
Because here was the thing, though. That's just the thing with football, especially football in the cold. Playing cold weather football. Those 2 yard gains that he was getting at most in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Third quarter, those 2 yard gains started becoming 3 and 4 yard gains.
Yep.
Fourth quarter, then 4 yard gains started becoming 6 to 8 yard gains. That he, eventually broke a couple tackles and had a long run. And then Davis Warren sold the bag at the goal line. He threw a pick. Right there at the goal line.
Oh, I'm saying, bro, we got so many gifts in that game. We got a pick. We got a pick on our side of the field. Another pick at the goal line, and it's just I'll have to do a whole episode on my own about Ryan Day's incompetence, which I will. I will do that this Saturday probably, since my team doesn't have a damn conference championship to play in like we were supposed to. I'll probably make that video this Saturday so we can get it out on Monday on the failures. We'll talk about that in the whole other regular YouTube series episode, but it's time to move on, right? Because we do have to give him the benefit of the doubt now that there's a 12-team college football playoff. If he can't win the Natty, it's time to move on. You know what I'm saying? People will say, well, who are you going to find better? In my opinion, literally anybody. I'm not saying literally anybody can come in and do this job, but I'm saying I know there's some better options out there than Ryan Day, and I trust that we would be able to find one of those options, barring him winning the national championship, man. But so yeah, that's that, man. Another interesting topic, right? It looks like we got some new sharks in the tank, man. The Power Four, all 4 Power 4 conference championship games will include a team that is new to the conference, man. Nick, how does this make you feel? And before you answer, I wanna bring this point up. Is the whole brand bias thing dead with all 4 of the Power 4 conferences having a new team in the conference championship?
Here's the thing. Now, I made the tier list, in the preseason talking about how each new team would fare coming into the new conferences. And the only team I really had faith in was Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And I said SMU would be up and down. I was like, man, reality with SMU was I just said I didn't know. I'm like, they could walk into the ACC, smack everybody around, or it could be a transition year for them, and then eventually they get there.
Right.
And then you had your Stanford and Cals, where I was just like, look, they're just gonna walk in and continue to be them. They're just gonna get their ass whooped regardless of what conference they in. So you had that, but Texas coming in, I expected Texas to be good. I expect them to go to the conference championship. I expected them to still be good. I was expecting, I said Georgia was gonna put hands on them. I was expecting some other teams in the conference to put hands on them, and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I don't think the brand bias is dead. It's just a matter of, it just depends on what brand we're talking about. Like with the Big Ten. I've always said with Dan Lannon over there, Oregon is a way more physical team than everybody in the Pac-12. Eventually they were going to get there. So I was like, okay, yeah, they're going to fare okay in the Big Ten. Especially since they play in cold weather all the time, too. Well, maybe not all the time, but they play in cold weather. They play
some cold. Around this time of the year, they're playing in some cold weather.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, them coming to the Big Ten in the Midwest, that it's going to be a pretty simple transition for them.
Yeah.
And they were already better than the majority of the Big Ten coming in. So I was just like, look, that was going to be a pretty simple kind for them. SMU, they shocked me. I thought, they were going to be kind of 8-4, kind of middle of the pack, but like on the upper end of the middle of the pack. I didn't think they were just finna walk in and start sweeping shit like they did.
Yeah, man. The one that surprises me the most is Arizona State, right? Because they came in, young head coach, Kenny Dillingham. I don't know if their team per se is young. I think they have a young team as well. And they started off the season a little rocky, but then they just kept stacking wins. And then it got to the point where they just needed a coin flip here or there, and they're in the conference championship. And Kansas goes out there and for 3 weeks straight just ends everybody's season in the Big 12. And Arizona State ends up in a position where they're now in the conference championship as well. So I have to say that's the one that most surprised me. Oregon doesn't surprise me at all. I knew they'd be there. Texas does not surprise me at all because in my preseason I actually had Texas beating UGA and Texas A&M. So I knew they'd have to beat those two teams to get to the SEC championship. They ended up going 1-1, but I still knew that they'd be in the SEC championship. SMU kind of surprised me. I had Clemson versus Miami penciled in for that ACC championship, but
apologies to my nigga Kobe Wilson, man. Like he played at SMU. I said his team wasn't going, dominate the conference, but he and the team is dominating the conference. So it's like
boys is dominating them. And I hope they win, man. No offense to my Alabama partners. I got some real close people to me who love Alabama. They need a Clemson. They need SMU to win. But I don't think. Well, I just confused myself. I don't think SMU is going to win this week. I think Clemson's going to take that dub, man. But if they do win, y'all get to come back, and I have to eat my words, and I'll happily do that.
Yeah. I feel like the one thing that wasn't surprising was Arizona State. Not necessarily that they were dominating, but I was shocked with the kind of offense they were running. Mm-hmm. They was just straight playing power football with Cam Scatterboo back there. So I was like, whoa. This little Pac-12, doormat that came in, got themselves a bulldozer at running back, and they just, they ran the perfect offense for the Big 12. They can't fucking tackle in the Big 12. Right. So they're just like, look, we got Cam. We just going to hand the ball to him. Get the fuck out the way. That's the offense. And I was like, when I saw that week 1, I was like, yeah, they finna dominate. I'm not going to lie to you. They dropped a couple games that I don't think they should have. That they really shouldn't have lost, but
they got a real chance.
That's Arizona State's new brand right now.
That's Arizona State's new brand. Speaking of brands and surprises and players and stuff, man, we got a really good Heisman race on our hands. Who do you think should be it? I mean, we got, to me, only two options. It's Travis Hunter, number 12, or Ashton Jeanty, number 2 for Boise State. Who's your Heisman winner and why, Nick?
Okay, I know it's a big debate. For some reason, it got controversial. It got political. People gonna say I'm biased because I'm from Gwinnett County, so like people gonna say I'm biased, but it's Travis, bro. Like it really is. So the reason why I say that, people are like, okay, look at the yards he's running for. He done ran for more yards than others than these Heisman winners. He done ran for more yards than Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, guys like that. And that's well and good. That's great. What about Melvin Gordon,
Mm-hmm.
who ran for 2,400 yards and didn't win a Heisman?
Right.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey, dominating, did not win a Heisman. Why? There were guys better. There were simply guys better. And then when you look at Derrick Henry, when you look at Mark Ingram, did they have a Travis Hunter-like figure in that era? No, they were just the best running backs on the best teams.
Yeah.
That was the whole Heisman right there. There wasn't no, just crazy receivers during that time. I mean, yeah, there were crazy receivers, but not like Heisman worthy. Yeah, some good quarterbacks, but that was really about it. You have a guy who, in Travis Hunter, who is dominating the offensive side of the football, receiver. You're talking about somebody who's top 5 in yards. Then you have one of the best defenders in the league too. I mean, in the country too. The man has 4 or 5 picks, and they're trying not to throw his way.
12, 13 pass deflections.
Yeah, and it's like, if you're gonna say you want Ashton Jeanty to win it, and don't get me wrong, Ashton Jeanty 100% has a case. He's running through any and everybody. He done ran through the number 1 team in the country. Give or take a kick return, a kick return and a punt return, Boise probably wins that game.
Right.
But bottom line is, with Travis, people don't want to see him win because he plays at Colorado. If Travis did the exact same thing, had the exact same stats, but was playing at Georgia or playing somewhere like Ohio State, then everybody would be on their knees for Travis Hunter. Like that's the truth.
Oh man,
that is the straight up truth. If he didn't play at Colorado, and I don't like Colorado like that. I really don't. I don't. It's not because of Deion, but
I for one am a big Colorado fan.
But yeah, that's just the reality of it. Travis is a good player. He's doing it on both sides of the football. It's not just a snap count thing. It's what he's doing with the damn snap counts. That's the best player on the Colorado roster.
That you just made a great point. We got to clip that. Everybody is talking about, snaps on the stat. They're not. It's what he's doing with those 130 snaps per game. And yes, that's why he is. I'm not going to say should. He is going to be the Heisman because of what he's doing with those 130, 150, 160 snaps per game.
Yeah.
So, seems like we got a great understanding here, man. Dirty South here at Dirty South. Travis Hunter's our Heisman. Let's talk about let's get away from college football a little bit. Let's talk about the big leagues. Let's talk about the state of the NFL. It's a wild time right now. It's a wild time. We got teams who usually aren't good that are really good this year. We got old players once again resurging. Some guys we thought were going to be good who haven't been good. It's been a crazy year.
Yeah, especially with my team, the Falcons, man.
Especially with your team. Fall. If you want to talk about a fall from grace.
So yeah, we haven't made an episode in a while, like probably since the Falcons fucking started. So, Falcons. Week 1, terrible first week. Then Saquon Barkley drops the football. We beat the Eagles, and then it was like uphill momentum from there. I mean, we were just trending on the upward. Beat the Saints, beat our rival.
Beat Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah, we swept Tampa. Like, we swept Tampa Bay. And, you know, we're thinking we got the best kicker in the league, too, with Younghoe Koo. And then, you know, we get our ass whooped by the Saints. And then it's like, you know, Koo missed 3 field goals. Now,
Right.
anybody knows me knows I'm probably one of the biggest Younghoe Koo supporters, all right? That's my fucking guy, Younghoe Koo. But, dog, missing 3 field goals indoors. Like, there's a roof over the fucking stadium. Like, no wind. I don't know what the fan situation or what the central air system is looking like in the Superdome, but missing 3 kicks, yeah, that's ain't locked in. You know, and I get it, kicking is hard, but you got one job: kick the
You
fucking
got one
football through the
job.
uprights.
Yep.
And it's like he missed the meeting. It's like he missed the annual kicker meeting. You know, it's like you got the little kick. It's a check mark in the middle. The X is on the side. Like, you know, it ain't but one way to kick it for shit to go well for you. And he's missing kicks. Offense, you know, you can't put all the blame on Younghoe Koo. The offense got to put the fucking ball in the end zone.
Right.
We do that from time to time, and we're a better team than the Broncos. I mean, that Denver game, I watched all of 7 minutes of that. And I get it. You know, I remember Raheem Morris saying, like, hey, going into high altitude, we got guys with sickle cell. We got to, you know, keep an eye on them. And I'm like, all right. If that's the case, then that's the case. He said that before the game. All right. And then we went to the bye week. So I'm thinking, okay, bye week. We're going to regroup from there.
Right.
Hell no. there was no regroup. Cool missing kicks indoors. At home now. Missing kicks at home indoors. And we're 6-6. So in a division that we thought that we had sole possession of, Tampa Bay is winning games as we're losing them. So it's like one more loss and another Tampa Bay win, and we'd have lost the fucking lead over the division. So it's like, you know, it's ridiculous, but that's the case right now.
Yeah.
Then you got Bryce Young all of a sudden. He's hooping.
Bryce Young hooping all his. Rod Wade added him on Instagram. Hey, bro, called me, and ever since that phone call,
yeah.
Bryce Young been hooping, man. But nah, my team, we going through a lot of the same, bro. Injuries.
Yeah.
Our thing is injuries. Unfortunately, we've now had 2 different players who have had a kid die. You know what I'm saying? So my condolences to Charvarius Ward and Trent Williams. It was Charvarius' daughter and Trent Williams' twin sons, I believe, who have all 3 unfortunately passed away. So this has just been a bad year, bro. Injuries, deaths. This has been a bad year. And to any 49ers fans who say fire Kyle Shanahan, I want you to know you're dumb as hell. Right? Like, remember where we were. Yeah, and yes, he's choked. Yes, he's choked multiple Super Bowls, right? You know this. You know
I know.
You're in Atlanta fans. You know this. Yes, he's choked multiple Super Bowls. But remember where we were, bro. At one point in time, Chip Kelly was our fucking head coach. And I need y'all to remember that, right? And we're seeing the benefits of that now with Nick Bosa and having all these guys we got now that we got, like, you know, from having the high draft picks. We would be in the fucking gutter if Kyle Shanahan wasn't our coach. We wouldn't have any of this. Same thing if John Lynch wasn't our GM. So 49ers fans, take a step back, right? Assess what we're really going through this year. It ain't tell me that you still want Kyle Shanahan to be fired. I don't think he should be fired. I think we just having a very rough year. I mean, how many times in the season will you have 2 players lose their kids? You know what I'm saying? How many times in the season where your best outside linebacker, your best wide receiver, and your best running back are all hurt at the same time? Like, we're going through some shit that usually doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So I'll pump the brakes on that, man. I'll be a lot less harder. You know what I'm saying? On my guys and that. But overall, the NFL product has been decent this year. I think Josh Allen is going to be the MVP. I think the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl. I think Bo Nix is going to be Rookie of the Year. And yeah, that's how I think it's going to go, man. How about you? With MVP, Rookie of the Year, Super Bowl pick? at this point in the season. Still like 4 or 5 weeks left.
I think Saquon has a great argument for MVP.
Saquon's been balling.
Man's been dominating with the Eagles. He's in a system that fits him. He's on a team that actually fucking wants him. And the man is hooping. I mean, the guy's just doing. I mean, he's even inventing shit to do now. Like he's like,
right,
look,
the
I'm
backwards
dominating
spin
so much. I'm gonna hurdle somebody's ass first. You know, I'm gonna do that. So like the man's fucking dominating. That's him. Josh Allen, like you said, definitely has a case. Especially for the AFC. But then you got you see rookie of the year Brock Bowers, man.
Brock Bowers. I haven't been paying attention to the Raiders. He been hooping?
Man, I think he's leading. I know he's leading all tight ends. I think he's like in the top 5, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think he's like in the top 5, like receiving, regardless of position.
Yeah.
As a rookie. So yeah, the Raiders, they're. I mean, shit, they're just doing the same thing Georgia did. It's like, look, okay, he's open, give him the fucking football. That's a plus. I wish we could do the same thing with Kyle Pitts, but Kyle Pitts, he likes to jog his routes, and then complain about not getting the football. So that's that. Trade Kyle Pitts. Let's go ahead and get rid of him.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about the Falcons. We're not talking about the Falcons anymore. Fuck. But yeah, I think the product of the NFL could be better. Look at the Chiefs. The Chiefs. I don't think I've seen a team bailed out more than the Kansas City Chiefs, whether it's by refs, whether it's by the fuck ups of other teams, which I don't know what's going on behind that. I have my own theory, but I can't. We just don't have the time for this episode for me to get
different videos for different times for sure.
Yep. So got my own theories on that, but then the whole quarterbacks not getting hit, that whole kind of deal, the whole Trevor Lawrence thing. He slides and gets knocked out. Now, am I saying he deserved it? No, but you slide late.
Yeah, you slide late, you get hit.
And then you got people who are casual fans who ain't never played a down of football before, trying to say, well, he had time to let up. I don't think people understand how fast NFL players move. All right,
yeah.
That's a different type of speed where you're going full speed. Like, at this point, damn near everybody runs at least a 4.5 in the NFL, linebackers included.
Facts.
You're going that fast. And then you're already, set for the hit. And then he wants to slide last second. And then another thing, quarterbacks need to quit fucking sliding. Am I saying they need to lower their shoulder? No. But there's a better way to go about it than sliding. And then, the only thing available to hit is your fucking face. You just let your face be the only thing.
Bro, like let's start sliding. Let's start sliding, downward.
Or diving, yeah.
Side or dive. You're diving straight in a curve. Like, if you diving like that,
yeah,
what linebacker come up and keep you bugging, nigga, get your ass bugged, nigga. Like,
exactly. It is sliding at the last second, And look, in the way the NFL is now, I say go ahead and hit them. Go ahead and hit these quarterbacks. Look, I'm not saying they deserve to get concussed or anything like that, but go ahead and knock the shit out of them. They want to slide. They want to slide, 2 or 3 yards, 2 or 3 yards. They got time. If you're going to slide, you slide, here. This is the time you slide. You don't get up right here and then want to start sliding. He ready for the hit already, and then he crack him. You want to slide a yard away.
All players who might be watching this, please do not listen to this nigga. He's going to get you kicked off of teams, fined if you make the league, all types of shit like that.
Hey, look, I did the same shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Shit. And I hit him, and I tell quarterbacks like, shit. Look, either run the fuck out of bounds or slide at least 4 yards away from me. Yeah. Don't get right up on me and try to slide and think I'm not gonna hit you.
Yeah.
I might hit you even harder because you slid late. Like I might put a little bit of extra behind it.
This guy, man. Oh man. Shit. All right, man. Real quick here. What's your Power 4 Conference Championship predictions? We got Clemson versus SMU up first. What you got?
SMU. I think SMU. I know Clemson's been here, done that before,
Yeah.
but I think SMU is gonna end up taking it just because like that's a hungry team that has a lot of talent.
Yeah.
Clemson, they're off and on. Like, you gotta remember, Syracuse had to beat Miami for them to even get in.
For them to
You know, you're
even
talking about a
get
team
in, yeah.
that wasn't even supposed to be there. So I think SMU, well, how dominant they've been, I think they take the ACC.
Okay. I got Clemson taking back their conference, man. You know, it's been a minute. It's been a while. I don't think they've won it since the last time Ohio State won it, and that was back in 2020 or 2019,
Something like that,
2020,
yeah.
something like that. Yeah, I think they finally take back over their conference. Just too physical, too fast for a still transitioning SMU team, even despite how good they are. Next up, we got the Big 12 championship, Arizona State versus Iowa State. Who you got in that?
Arizona State.
Arizona State.
They're not stopping Cam. they're not stopping. It would shock the hell out of me if they managed to stop him, but I don't think they will.
I got Arizona State taking that one too. I think Kenny Dillingham is a hungry coach. I think he wants this win for his guys, and his guys wants to win for him. So I think they'll end up getting this done. The third game, Texas versus your Georgia Bulldogs in Atlanta. Will you be there?
Will I be there? Here's the thing. I don't think y'all click on y'all don't click on the goddamn tier list enough for me to just be like, look, I can throw a ban at this game. Y'all don't subscribe enough for me to be able to just throw a ban on shit. I'm a college kid, bro. Like I can't.
Right.
I don't have you know.
I didn't know whether you had some money saved up or what. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was pretty much a pencil in to make it. So I didn't know if you had some money saved or what.
I got money saved up, but unfortunately, I cannot blow a chunk of that on the SEC championship game.
Okay, responsible.
I wish I could.
Responsible, but okay. All right, so Headhunter nigga won't be there, but who you got, man? I know you'll be watching.
Okay, here's the reason why I say Georgia. All right, not just because I'm a fan, but because look at the beginning of the year. They took the same thing that Alabama used to do with Nick Saban back in the day. Every year, Alabama used to play their first game of the season. They would schedule kind of a lowly team, and they would play them at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You know, a team that was like they were good, but clearly not good enough to beat Bama. All right, so it was still kind of a tune-up game.
Like Duke and Michigan and Miami and shit like that. I remember those. Man.
So they would schedule a team like that to play them in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium or the Georgia Dome back in the day. So the players already got accustomed. You know, I've been on the field at those stadiums. That shit can get overwhelming. And I was there with no crowd. Like, I've been on the field before. It's like, you're looking up and you're like, damn, you know, I'm really playing on this shit. You know, and that mindset can get you out of, you know, what you're supposed to be doing on the field. You're so caught up in where you're playing that you're not necessarily thinking about what your assignment is on the field. So you get that shit out the way week one, and then when you come back, it's like, well, shit, I done been here before. What's up? That's what Georgia did this year with Clemson. They scheduled Clemson at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. They done been there before.
Right.
And Texas hasn't. You know, and I get it. Texas probably plays at AT&T Stadium. I think Mercedes-Benz is slightly better because, you know, AT&T is kind of aging, but no, whole other fucking story. But I think Georgia beats Texas. And I know it's hard to beat a good team twice, but that physicality that Georgia has, man, I don't think, even if Texas does make adjustments, it's hard. Look, a speed flex to the chin, man. Like I always say, a speed flex to the chin, I done seen it change the trajectory of niggas' lives, man. And that man Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning, but they really got tagged for the first time, they were like, holy shit. Yeah. I don't want no parts of this no more. So that's why I think Georgia's gonna take. And plus, Georgia has a better kicker. So fuck out of here.
Yeah, Georgia does have a better kicker. It's probably about to come as a surprise to you, right?
No, it's not.
It is. I got the Georgia Bulldogs winning the SEC championship this week. You know what I'm saying?
I take it back.
I got the Georgia Bulldogs winning the SEC championship this week, man. It's at the crib, basically. Texas is running, you know, like a 2 QB system almost right now because Quinn's not 100%. It's hard to beat a team twice, right? But here's my rebuttal to that. You already fucking beat them. It's hard. Yes, it is hard to beat a team 2 times. We see it in the NFL. We see it in conference championships, and then they go again and play in the Natty, or they play it in the regular season and go again and play in the conference. It's hard to beat two teams, but you know what you got in your favor. You already fucking beat them.
Yeah. And another point, if Carson Beck, because as we've seen, Carson Beck does have his mojo back. He trucked the Tennessee defender, and from there it's been magical. It's been lights out from there.
It's been lights out for him.
But if he played a piss poor game against Texas in Austin, and Georgia still won by multiple touchdowns, still put 30 points on him.
Yep.
If he plays a good game, and I just gotta hope that Bobo doesn't fuck this up, because
that's the one thing
only
that
thing I'm
holds
scared
our
of.
back. That this weekend is Bobo.
Like, that's the only thing that could really hold us back is Bobo and running fucking. We just have to run the screen on second down. We just have to. Like, Bobo is not in the NCAA rule book. It's not in the rules and regulations that you have to run a fucking wide receiver screen on second down. Right. You ain't got to do it. Arian Smith. That's another guy that can kind of hold us back that I'm worried about, because the man has track speed. The man can run routes. But you playing receiver. He can't receive the fucking football.
That's another thing, too. See, I think UGA will win the game, but they shouldn't, right? Because if you look at Texas, they're the better overall team, more perimeter playmakers. I think they got a much better defensive stats than y'all do.
Yeah.
But I don't think – I just don't think they got it, man. Maybe if Quentin was fully healthy, maybe. But the fact that this is in Atlanta – you already beat them. You got a motivated Carson Beck. I know Kirby's going to have his guys motivated. I got Georgia, man. But for the main event of Saturday night, man, if you would have told me that the highest ranked conference championship game was going to be the Big Ten championship, but Ohio State wasn't going to be participating, I would have said, what the fuck? What are you talking about? But the main event of the night, man, number 1, Oregon versus number 3, Penn State. Who you got, Nick, and why?
I got Oregon. I got Oregon in this. Both teams are good, obviously. And the problem with Penn State is that they get really one-dimensional sometimes, man.
They get really one-dimensional.
Sometimes it's the Drew Aller show with Nick Singleton. And other times, it's just fucking Nick Singleton. Like, at this point, put that nigga in the Wildcat and just let him run. Like, what are we talking about at this point? But, yeah, y'all gotta, I think with Oregon, I remember Dan Lanning, Southern coach. Yes, I mean this with all bias whatsoever. He has brought a certain physicality to Oregon's program that hadn't been there before. Remember, they were the whole flashy speed team with the offense that can run and throw, and a defense that was like, well, we may tackle you, we may not.
Well, we might not. The defense is really like we need a turnover.
Yeah.
And if we don't get that turnover,
it is what it is. We'll give up 30, but we'll score 45 on you. So it was that kind of deal. But they have an offense and a defense. Penn State's defense, they're good. But I don't know if they're going to be good enough to really just hold down Oregon long enough for the offense to get going.
Yeah.
And I think Penn State is going to probably take a page out of Michigan's book and just try to pound the rock until Oregon finally breaks. But the problem with Oregon is they can score while you're fucking around. You getting these 2 yards of carry deal, and yeah, you're pounding the rock and it's going kind of well for you. But when you're doing that, you're punting in the first half. You're punting, 3 and out, just 3 and out every couple drives. Oregon's taking that shit down the field and they scoring.
Right.
So now you ain't got no choice but to throw. And I don't think Drew Aller's a 50-50 throw kind of guy. I don't think he is.
He's not. When he's had to throw that many times, it usually isn't the best result for the team.
So I think Oregon does win the game. I don't think they win. They might win convincingly. I can kind of see if they did win convincingly. I don't think they will because Penn State is really good. But, yeah, I think Oregon's going to take that one.
Okay. I'm going with the favorites. I'm going with Penn State, man. At 3.5-point favorites, I think they will win the game by that 3 to 7 range. I think Here's what I think, man. I think this is a home game for Penn State, right? I want to say Indianapolis is like less than 2 hours away from Happy Valley. So this is going to be a home game for Penn State. It's going to be indoors, so there's no weather factor. And I think despite them losing, Ohio State and Boise, despite them not actually being able to do this the whole game or at all, they showed you what you need to do to beat Oregon. To beat Oregon, you need to run the ball and you need to get pressure on Dylan Gabriel. Boise State, they ran the ball on Oregon. Ohio State got no pressure on Dylan Gabriel, right? I feel like if Penn State can like mix that in and reverse it, if they can run the ball and get a lot of pressure on Dylan Gabriel, which they can with just a 4-man rush because they got the best edge rusher in the country, in my opinion, Abdul Carter. I think they win the game by the 3.5 points or more that they're favored to win it by.
See, the reason why I disagree is because one team got Ashton Jensen, the other team don't. Ashton Jensen's running for 200 on anybody, on any game. You let him play 4 quarters, he's running for 200 yards on anybody. All right. Nick Singleton, there's certain teams where he can run for 200 on them. Other teams where reality is he ain't.
Right.
You know, so that's the thing with Oregon. Like, I feel like with Oregon playing Penn State, if you stop Nick Singleton, like I said, put a speed flex in his chin a couple times, they'll shut down. I mean, you saw what Ohio State did to him. They put a speed flex in that man's chin. They put a couple of them in his chin.
Yeah, I mean, Cody Simon came in, put a speed flex right, not even to his chin, right to his chest, and that changed the trajectory.
And that changed the trajectory of the game, man. So it's like, if Oregon can do that, and with Dan Lanning as the coach, a defensive-minded Southern coach, he gets them to do that. Make Drew Allen beat you. If you try to make Drew Allen beat you, and you got Dylan Gabriel, you got Tez Johnson, you know, you got the guys to score and get into a shootout with them. If Drew Allen plays a stellar game, which, let's be real, you know, that shit ain't happening. If you got that, then yeah, Oregon should definitely win the game. But the key is you got to stop Nick Singleton. And Penn State's O-line is no pushover either. So
no, it's not. So yeah, man, going to be an exciting week of football. Nick, I know I hate on UJ a lot and we troll back and forth, but I am happy that you get to, you know, enjoy your team being in the conference championship, having the chance to win it. I really wish I could be doing the same, but instead this Saturday, man, I'm gonna go get some maintenance done to this head, get this hair done, get this hair cut, buy a couple Christmas gifts, and I might take a peek at some college football. I don't know yet. And hey, we'll be back next week, man. Until then, stay dirty. I'm 2ToneZach. I'm out.
Yeah, Hunter Nick, we out. Stay dirty, stay dangerous.
In the aftermath, I'm always gonna get that text asking me where we is. Like, baby, go get some rest, cause darling, I don't wish you well. When you ain't with me, I need you sick to your stomach. It can't stand on your feet. I know it's your own, but I just gotta be honest.